Happy Friday, everybody. Max here with your fix of gaming news. Coming up, despite the rising prices of consoles, retailers are warning there might be a shortage by the time GTA 6 drops, plus some insight into how many of you are willing to shell out $100 for that Ultimate Edition, and a roundup of this week's biggest game releases. Let's get into it. Right now, consoles are not exactly flying off of shelves. Generally, raising the prices of things by several $100s doesn't make people more inclined to go buy them, but if a recent report is to be believed, they might soon be in high demand. The game business reported that a senior buyer for a, quote, major retailer spoke anonymously to them about the likelihood of shortages later this year, claiming, quote, "We've been informed that because of the ongoing issues around hardware component availability, we won't be getting the units we want ahead of GTA. Demand will likely outstrip supply during the year-end period." Now, as with all anonymous reports, take that with a grain of salt, but it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. PlayStation raised hardware prices at the end of March, and then Xbox announced yesterday that Xbox Series consoles would start going for $100 more starting August 1st. This has some folks worried that Sony might follow suit and raise their prices again. All that fear, plus the prospect of GTA, could definitely see sales picking up. Of course, the chip shortage is expected to last through at least next year, with some analysts predicting that it'll be an ongoing issue into 2030. This is the first console generation in history where prices have gone up since launch rather than getting price cuts, so if you haven't jumped on a next-gen console yet, it's probably better to do that sooner than later, because I don't think they're going to get any cheaper anytime soon. We all spent months speculating about how much Rockstar would charge for Grand Theft Auto 6, with a lot of concern that it would retail for a whopping $100. Well, we learned this week that it's only, and I use that word very lightly, only $80 for the standard edition, and the only way it would be $100 is if you shelled out for the Ultimate Edition. Who would do such a thing? Well, it turns out a whole lot of you have no qualms about spending $100 on GTA 6. Yesterday, IGN ran a poll asking readers which version they intended to buy, and of the 4,370 votes we received, 73.1% of them were for the Ultimate Edition. So what gives? Well, as one Redditor put it, the Ultimate Edition is the default option for this game, and the $80 is the cheaper option, because how else can you explain Rockstar priced the Ultimate Edition at only $100? Why not $120 or $140 like other companies? $20 gap between standard and Ultimate Edition of a game of this magnitude is too odd to ignore. In the past, most publishers, including Rockstar, release a standard edition of a game, and then a deluxe or special edition for roughly $10 more, and then a third super premium collector's edition, usually with some kind of physical collectibles, though in recent years, a lot of those have just been digital bonuses, and collector's editions have stopped actually including the game, but still get announced alongside the rest of the pre-orders, as was the case with Red Dead Redemption 2, which got like a little special collector box. What strikes me as odd about GTA 6's pre-orders, aside from the fact that the physical edition only includes a download code, or the fact that we haven't seen gameplay yet, is that there's been basically no mention of GTA Online. When GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 were released, neither one had online multiplayer features on day one, but Rockstar still mentioned online bonuses were included when pre-orders went up. So my hunch is that Rockstar will announce another edition or editions of this game later on. I don't know if that's alongside an eventual unconfirmed physical version that actually includes a disc, or when they start talking about online, or if they roll out some super premium collector's edition that includes a bunch of stuff, but this rollout does feel a little bit odd. 73% of the people who answered that poll are springing for the $100 edition. How many of you are holding out for something even more expensive? Let me know in the comments below. Finally, if you're looking for something new to play this weekend that's actually out, here's a quick roundup of some noteworthy games that dropped in the last week. It's a big one for Switch 2 owners. Star Fox is the big game, and it might be a remake of sorts, but Nintendo definitely did enough to make it look brand new, and my good pal Jada Griffin had lots of nice things to say about it in her 8 out of 10 review if you're on the fence. If you're a Switch 2 owner but not a Star Fox fan, you're in luck because Switch 2 versions of a couple other colorful animal games also dropped. There's Sonic Frontiers, the Blue Blur's 2022 open-ish world outing, and then The Gecko Gods, which is a chill-looking indie puzzle adventure about those lil lizards. If you're more of a human hater than an animal lover, there's Destroy All Humans, and if you want something even edgier than that, there's DMC5's Devil Hunter Edition. If you want something a little more laid back, Wander Stop is about a former adventurer running a tea shop, and that one is on Switch 1 as well as Switch Switch 2. Also on Switch 1 as well as PC is Dark Scrolls, which is a fantasy shmup platformer with roguelite progression. A few games got updates. Deltarune Chapter 5 dropped as a free update on all platforms, and Frostpunk 2's Breach of Trust expansion dropped for $13 wherever you can already play Frostpunk 2. And finally, Dead or Alive 6 has been out since 2019, but if you want to play the definitive final Ultimate Edition, DOA 6 Last Round is out for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, and it's got a roster of like 29 characters, and they have all sorts of silly costumes, and the graphics are sweatier than ever, so give it a shot. If you want to look ahead at what's coming out in July, keep an eye out for our biggest game releases video, which is going up tomorrow. We thought we'd try out a little bite-sized look back to close out the Friday fix and give you some weekend gaming recs. What do you think? Should we keep doing it? Let me know in the comments. If you want something to play right now for dirt cheap that supports a great cause, go grab this month's Humble Choice bundle. It includes Octopath Traveler 2, The Rift Breaker, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Indica, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Construction Simulator, Hell Clock, and Overlooting. This month's charity is It Gets Better, a nonprofit organization with a mission to uplift, empower, and connect LGBTQ youth around the globe. Head over to humblebundle.com between now and July 6th and grab these games before they're gone. That is your fix for Friday, June 26th, 2026. As always, for all things gaming, keep it locked to IGN, and more importantly, have a great weekend, everybody. Go play some video games.